Nando, your friends in Miami.
Yeah.
I say that apropos of nothing. I just wanted to ask you about latest news on the Venezuela situation. We got to talk about that for a couple of minutes. This is incredible. This attempted
incredible.
coup.
It's incredible. I mean, the latest thing is that it looks like Juan Guaido, the Venezuelan opposition leader, U.S. backed, kind of incredible grifter, just absolutely delusional guy. It looks like his U.S. backers are thinking about making a change because this guy is too dumb to be our guy. It's just too much.
They're recognizing that the front office isn't going to do a coup. You need a solid player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that they're not going to go anywhere. With this guy.
So Silvercore is this mercenary firm.
Yeah,
it's not even this is a major global problem. You got these firms operating all across the world, particularly in Africa. They're instruments of U.S. aggression abroad. And Venezuela has been a target of U.S. foreign policy since at least 2002 and hyper aggressive under Trump. Massive sanctions, trying to use the courts to essentially declare a bounty on Nicolas Maduro's head. I mean, this is so ruthless, aggressive, pure criminal U.S. empire. And at the same time, by all appearances, and Pompeo is, he's not even really denying a U.S. role, frankly.
No.
I mean, he's saying stuff like, well, we'll talk about how maybe another time we'll talk about who funded this or whatever. You had this firm, Silvercore, that has been trying to get contracts to guard schools from school shootings in the past, that somehow got, I think it was through a connection with Richard Branson to help do security for one of these
the concert on the border.
Yeah, these pro-coup concerts at the border. And now these fucking idiots went into Venezuela on fishing boats.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I won't play this because I don't care. I just don't take pleasure in any, of course, this is criminal. This is contract murder. Obviously, the Venezuelans need to arrest them, protect themselves, whatever. We'll see what happens. But I don't wish ill on anybody. But there's this clip of one of these Silvercore guys who got arrested. And through the translator, the Venezuelan is asking him in heavily accented English, what's the operation? And the guy's telling him, he's not denying it. He's yeah, basically, come in here, get on the boats, get out. I don't know. Again, it's just fucking insane as they're saying this. Take over Caracas, bag Maduro, other high-value targets, take them to the airport. It's insane. It's like a Michael Bay movie, which I know we'll get to in a second. And then the guys, the Venezuelan is did you know that this is illegal? And the guy's just now I am aware that it is illegal. Yeah, did you know that violating our sovereignty and coming in here to fucking kill our leadership to install some dope that just says he's the president and is recognized by all of the world's imperial interests that want our oil and to get rid of our social achievements, and that to just come here and try to and this dude's just yeah, no, now I get it.
Guys, we talked about this on Woke Bros. I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember now, but we're talking about the ramping up of making China the new boogeyman, right? And that's getting ramped up. We're not at, Bay of Pigs or even Iran-Contra level Cold War stuff with Russia yet with China, but we're ramping up there. What I just see here in Venezuela is that the CIA's heart's just not into this one, right? You gotta figure these guys were willing to sell weapons to the mullahs in the Middle East, right? To get money to fund the Contras. They were willing to run crack to get money to the Contras. That was an operation. These guys had their hearts in it. They were no, this is life or death for us. Obviously, what's going on in Venezuela, it's I don't even know, man. It's how some people might treat a hoop game with their little nephew or something. It's all right, man, I get it. You just figured out how to make a free throw. You're 6 years old, but I'm not really paying attention to this. They just not into it for real, man.
I mean, one of the reasons why they're not into it is because Venezuela is like incredible, much more powerful than a lot of these other. Like they don't realize how people don't realize like just the Venezuelan military is like very large and the country is very well armed, and it's not like something that it's not like some flimsy regime that you can just topple in 2 seconds. Like they are incredibly.
No, if we invaded Venezuela, that could be like the biggest catastrophe that would happen.
Oh, it would. Millions of people would die.
But also, people need to think about the other thing too. That like, you know, that's like, what is the lesson of that? Like, I think we all would prefer the Lula approach. But then,
right. But then he got
what
then
happens
he got
to Lula?
out. He got thrown in
then,
jail.
And then the Venezuelan, the people are, oh, like this Venezuelan government, you know, strikes deals with the military. Yeah, right. Because that's how they keep from getting deposed.
Right. That's why Iran wants a nuclear weapon.
That's why Iran should,
fuck with, you think
right.
someone's gonna fucking off the head of their military command like Soleimani, like we did earlier this year, if they had a nuclear weapon? No way. They wouldn't dare.
What's the whole world's big lesson, right? Across the board, from North Korea to Libya to Iran. But I don't know. It's ridiculous. And also, we got to talk more about this JJ Rondon guy, who's this Miami-based political consultant who's worked for right-wing campaigns across Latin America, has been accused of all sorts of shit. We'll talk about this.
The crazy thing about this Rondon guy,
he's the conduit for the deal, right? Talk about it.
Well, but yes, he's
admitted to it, right? He's literally said it.
I think that's what's most surprising about all this is that he's just like openly talking about it. Like he doesn't care, you know, like he's not even like hiding the fact that he brokered this insane deal. You know, he's talking to the media nonstop. Like he answers the phone when people call and he talks. Like it just speaks to the brazenness of this all. Like they think that this is normal behavior, that they're just like doing something that's worthy and good. It's just, that's how their mentality is. Like they don't care. But yeah, this guy's like an unbelievably shadowy and dangerous figure who just kind of sits atop his perch in a Miami condo and just takes money from Venezuelan oligarchs who are living in Aventura and Sunny Isles, and uses it to hire psychopaths like this Justin Goudreau guy in Silvercore to maybe depose Nicolas Maduro. Like it's totally insane and brazen the way they're doing it.
How are your Venezuelan homies in Miami taking all of this?
They all love. I mean, they all like everyone in Miami wants Maduro out like at all costs. Like they don't. That's like they don't think beyond that. You know, like whether it like even if like Trump like sends in troops, like they'll be like, yes, that's a good idea. We should do it. I mean, like I don't like Trump, but you know, we should do that. And what I worry about like this insane kind of hilarious coup attempt is that the U.S. like because there's Americans involved, that the U.S. might do like the Grenada thing and be like, well, we got to get our boys back. You know, we got to get our boys. You know, we can't leave our boys behind.
That's really scary. And it's disgusting. Look, Grenada, Panama, those are two of the big U.S. crime. I mean, just gangsterism, particularly Grenada.
Yeah.
But what's I mean, particularly Grenada, that's just pure. That is like, I don't even know what the analogy is for that. Just rampant criminality. But people need to wrap their heads around that Venezuela is not, I mean, everybody I think basically knows it's not Grenada, but it's not Panama.
No.
It's not
even Nicaragua.
It's not Nicaragua. It's not, I mean, this would be such a catastrophe. And I think you're right. Like that is the scary part of this. And it's the only part of it, honestly, that even makes any kind of sense if you wanted to give some of these agencies any kind of credit, that this is so stupid and so ridiculous that it makes the Venezuelan government look good and coherent, right? And that the only play here is some type of, you got our people. I don't know.
Like a Casus Belli to get them out. Yeah. You know, it's just, it's crazy. It's a very, you know, it's depressing. No one cares, you know, like we think it like you look at Iran Contra, right? And, which you mentioned, and you look back at that time and the Democratic Party, as like weak and feckless as they always have been, they were like calling congressional hearings to investigate the Reagan administration.
John Kerry exposed global CIA, BCCI cocaine trafficking networks, man.
How is
John Kerry did that?
That is literally unimaginable for like Nancy Pelosi to like open an inquiry into this insane thing and see.
No, Chuck Schumer would be like, that 2% of each cocaine sale that funds the death squads will go towards a highway refurbishment in Long Island and Nassau County. And that furthermore, if Donald Trump wants to profit from cocaine sales to the Venezuelans,
he bar his family from profiting directly.
3 years after he's president, and his immediate family 6 months.
Mike, have you ever watched the Talented Mrs. Maisel?
No, tell me.
Every single character on that show talks like exactly like your Chuck Schumer impersonation, and it's fucking fantastic. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm thinking about the Talented Mr. Ripley. Yes, but it's Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, though. Sorry.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Thank you for the assist.
To Gwyneth Paltrow, the Nubian queen.
My milk of magnesia.
Oh my god! So guys,
Gwyneth Paltrow. Every time she comes up on anything that I do, I have to bring up my favorite Gwyneth Paltrow moment, which was during the Watch the Throne tour. Her and Chris Martin, back when they were together, are famously very close friends with Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? And they happened to be in Paris when the Watch the Throne tour stopped in Paris. And this is around the time that Jay and Kanye were doing this performance art thing where they would perform the freaking song Niggas in Paris like a ridiculous amount of times. Like, whatever, it was their biggest song at the time. It's completely kind of mediocre in retrospect, but whatever.
Can I say, do you guys remember how Francois Hollande, when he was running for president, I think in 2012, his campaign, and it was an official video, I think it's been scrubbed. Mm-hmm. And it's like good, just B-roll politician footage, but it was definitely like, all right, this is like, we're going to mobilize the Paris suburbs with the North African immigrants and young people. It's just Hollande campaigning with that song unedited.
Wait,
go ahead.
Like, again, and this is similar to that, so Michael. Yes. Like, and so she tweets from the stage, and I quote, because the song is called Niggas in Paris. She tweets, "Niggas in Paris for real."
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Oh my god! Like naively, unironically.
That song, that's like the best troll of white people. Like it's like, and burning up the charts is words in Paris.
Bruh, like,
the number one song in America.
I remember reading that tweet and just losing my mind, just laughing hysterically, like, this white woman can't be serious. Like, and she did it like, no, but for real.
But for real.
Get it? It's niggas in Paris. Like, doing niggas in Paris. Like, it was just too good. That's the only thing I think about when I think of Gwyneth Paltrow.
That story is a controversial style of play for the big leagues.
Yeah.
I love it. That's hilarious. Jesus. And then she was like, all right, I'm going to found Goop now.
Right.
Guys, let's do this again in June, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. I love it. I love it. The Roke Bros assemble. We're definitely going to do this again in another. Obviously, you can catch us every single week on the Bomb feed, BOMM, Black Opinions Matter, on the Count the Dings Network on iTunes. That's the way you can catch us and not miss a single week. But
and make sure you guys subscribe to that. Definitely.
We have a lot of fun, as you can see. But we're going to do this again, the crossover, in another 3 or 4 weeks or so, because this is a lot of fun. We need to do more of this. Obviously, you can check out Waz at Count the Dings and The Athletic. You can check out Nando also at The Athletic, where he writes about soccer. You can check out Nando. You see him on TYT, where he does political commentary, the indispensable political commentary. And also, Waz and I have both been a guest on a very good podcast called Pot It Out, which is Nando's Entourage viewing podcast. which is sort of like the Gwyneth Paltrow story.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, man, it's hard times in the quarantine. Just everyone should just kick back, fire up Entourage, listen to the intro theme song, and just dive into a simpler time.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thanks so much.
Man, love you too, man. Later,
Take
guys.
it easy.
All right. Be safe. Talk to you guys soon.
You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.